Hi everyone, this is Kerry Engel with Creative Scrapbooker Magazine, and we've got a technique taster for you today. And I'm using Prima Marketing's stamps and papers to create this cute little card. I think it'll make a great graduation card. And the technique we're sharing with you is paper piecing with stamps. To create this cute card, I've used one of Julie Nutting's cling stamps called Madeline. To create my lady, I used some Top Boss ink and some Emerald Creek powder, and I love this gunpowder color. So I stamped her, embossed her, and then I'm going to cut her out. Taking some cardstock, you stamp the elements that you want to paper piece. So for my lady over here, I've paper pieced her skirt and one of the trunks and her hat. So I did the same thing. I stamped on my paper, I embossed it, and then what we're going to do is cut those out, and you end up with, it's like paper dolls when you were young. And you're just gonna you can just lay it down on top and glue it down, and voila, you've got a cute skirt made out of polka dotted paper. We could do the whole girl, but what I've done is I've colored mine with some Chameleon pens. I'm quite a fan of my Chameleon pens, and I have them in a lot of different colors, and I use the color tops quite frequently. So to color our lady, I've used some very neutral colors, so the nude, the light peach, the sand, to create the skin tone colors. And I think one of my favorite things to do is make cheeks. So I'm going to use really nude color. Let's check it out, see how light that is. So that's really nude. So you can customize your lady to whatever skin tone you want. And with the Chameleon pens, the color tops have the colored ink in them. So you're gonna just fuse it together for a few seconds. And because we don't want a lot on our cheeks, I'm not gonna go too long. And I always like to test it out beforehand. So you can see where there's a little bit of pink here. So then we're just gonna color where her cute little cheeks are gonna be. And what I find with, when you have a little bit left on the pen here, you can use that to do the shading. So under her neck's going to be a little darker color, around here is going to be a little darker. So I use that leftover colored ink to create some shading. And then as we color down, it'll blend out into the nude. The other thing I like to do when I'm doing faces is add some stippling to it. And this sort of helps the ink to blend in, and it creates a little more depth and shading. So I've just taken the nude that we were using, and I'm just stippling it. The cardigan, I'm not going to use a second color. I'm just going to use a fade from a lighter teal color to a darker teal color. So we fuse it with attach the pen to the fusing chamber, and we're going to let it sit for a little bit. So once again, I'm going to go in and do a little stippling in here. Now that I've looked at her, I'm kind of thinking, oh, I want to add a little bit of blue. So this is really simple to do. I'm going to use a really pale, a much paler blue, and we're going to add in some color. I'm going to use some Deco foil liquid adhesive, so I could do it straight to the skirt or right on the doll. To do her hair, I've used a brown and then a sand color. We're going to create some highlights on the top of her head using the sand color top. There you go, really simple. So we're going to use the same technique on a set of suitcases. When I did her hat this time, I did it out of the floral paper, and all I did was cut a little slit in there, and we're going to just fit it on, and then we've got our bundle of suitcases ready to go onto our card. To make the card base, I wanted a bit of curve and action going on here, kind of to mimic our curvy lady. So I've used the Creative Memories paper cutter, this curvy cutter, to cut my paper, and it works really great. So you can create your base out of the white cardstock and then just layer in some of the Prima marketing paper on top. This is from the Travel Girl collection. It's a paper pad. There's some foil on this paper. It's really fun. A lot of beautiful, fun, young colors for anyone who enjoys traveling. If you're going on any kind of trip, some great papers for trips. But I thought this paper also works good for a young person who's going to be graduating. To create my mirror, I've used these foil mates, and this particular package of foil mates comes with some of these background pieces. So what you do is you'll take the fancy foils, you'll lay them on top of the foil mate, and this run it through your laminator. And Thermoweb also has some matching dies. So once you've ran it through the laminator and the foil's adhered, you'll just put the die on, cut it out, and you end up with a great little mirror. And to finish it off, I wanted to add these flowers. This is from a gorgeous package of some of the Prima flowers. They come in this great little bundle. You can pull the bundle apart, you could cut it apart even if you wanted to just use the smaller flowers, but it just fit in really beautifully underneath my suitcases. And to create my sentiment, all I did was take this particular piece of paper. I took this stamp right here and cut out each word individually. I think sometimes we forget that we can cut words out of these papers. We don't have to just use it exactly as is. I wanted my elements to have some depth to them, so I've used some glue dots behind my suitcases. And you can use 1, 2, 3 glue dots. You can get as high as you want with this. I also use them to adhere my flowers. The flowers stick really nicely with the glue dots. I also just used some of the foil mate mirrors on the inside as well to put more sentiments. This package from Prima Marketing comes with a corresponding package of little doodads you can add, so I've used that in the middle there. So a lot of great products to choose from to create a really fun card.